So, with today being Father's Day, this homily is dedicated to you married men out there, and those of you who are soon-to-be married men, I suppose. And you may take this homily as one big advertisement for the permanent diaconate. The permanent diaconate, been here for a year and change, and I haven't talked about the permanent diaconate yet. And that's not fair. I've talked about vocations in general, priesthood in specific, but the permanent diaconate has been on an upswing for the last 50 years or so, and even though we don't talk about it much, it's worthy of our consideration and respect. Now, you know that I'm a fan and supporter of a stronger, larger, permanent diaconate. And you know that's true because deacons make priests' lives easier. Permanent deacons can counsel people. They can go to hospital visits. Assuming it's outside of Mass, they can do weddings, baptisms, and funerals. They assist at the Mass, and they can do communion calls. All of this is good work, and it basically guarantees that priests will owe you favors for your entire life. Now, that isn't actually the angle I care about. I'm not seriously standing here and asking you to become deacons to make my life easier. That would be selfish of me, even more than usual. No, I'm talking about the permanent diaconate today for a different reason. I happen to care a great deal about fatherhood. Fatherhood is not an action. Fatherhood is a state of being. Fatherhood is achieved over time. Okay? No one became a good father from having one fun day with the kids. It's like a tree. It grows over time, and it only bears fruit years down the road. I guess you could say that I care because it's one of those things. It's one of those things that is immensely powerful, but it has no short-term payoff. Like a tree, it bears fruit years down the line. But for me, the fact that it's a long-term payoff makes it all the more sweeter. Permanent deacons are more fatherly than priests, even though father is our colloquial title. They're more fatherly than priests, at least in one very real way. And I'm going to tell you what that way is because it's basically my one selling point for the sake of the permanent diaconate. Here it is. Deacons are like fathers because deacons stay and remain with their people, whereas a priest moves on from parish to parish. If you're ordained a permanent deacon, you inherit this spiritual stability that is yours for the rest of your days. If we got a permanent deacon in this parish right now, all of you would have the satisfaction of knowing that that deacon would be yours for the entire foreseeable future, because deacons stay with the people. That is awesome, and it is very fatherly. In that way, priests are not fatherly. Priests are like mercenaries. We're in it for the fame and the money. And it doesn't pay that well, so it's mostly the fame. No. Priests are like mercenaries in that mercenaries are always hired for a specific purpose. Okay? A mercenary comes in, gets the job done, takes the money, and then beats it. A mercenary never stays in one place for very long, no matter whether the place they're in is in a good state or a bad state when it's time to move on. And I truly believe that it's got to be this way. Okay? I truly believe all of you need new priests from time to time, no matter how fond you were of the old priests. I feel so strongly about this, I said this to my canon law professor in seminary when he said the opposite. He believes that a priest should be in one church for his entire career. Oh, brothers and sisters, learn from my mistakes. If you disagree with a priest lawyer, keep it to yourself. You think talking with your uncle about politics at Thanksgiving is bad. That was not a pleasant conversation. But I'm saying it because I believe this so strongly I was willing to say it to a priest lawyer. We need to be short-term servants for you. That is the way we can be of actual use to you. But it comes at a price. We lose an element of our fatherliness. That's a shame. Deacons are like fathers, okay? Fathers don't leave when the job is done. Fathers stay with their families. Deacons stay with their parishes. And that is a wonderful thing. Every Catholic church should have a permanent deacon for exactly that reason. I'm honestly surprised that a parish this big and a parish this active does not yet have a permanent deacon. But even as I say that, I know there are plenty of you here right now that could bring that change about. So, if anything I've said has piqued your interest, this is me talking directly to you to seal the point home. If you are somehow eligible for the permanent diaconate, you probably worry about the younger generation. You probably worry about the transmission of faith. You worry about your children or your grandchildren. You worry that ultimately they'll choose what is easy over what is right. And to that I say, it is you, the parents, that are the key to victory. Okay? All of you are way more important than any of us mercenaries ever could hope to be. We'll do what we can, but we're support staff. Now, if you're ordained a permanent deacon, you take that parental power that is yours by right and you amplify it. So your spiritual stability, the moral stability of your family that you are, you keep that. But now you gain religious stability. You become a bridge between faith and family. And that, brothers and sisters, that is a purpose worthy of the years of study and work that it would take to become a permanent deacon. So, if anything I've said resonates with you, I hope that you search your heart and you investigate whether or not God is calling you along that particular path. I've got one last point to make. Had to save it for the end. It wouldn't make as much sense at the beginning. Parenthood is precious in of itself. My message today is not that permanent deacons are some sort of higher form of parents. Absolutely not. They're like parents with more specific parenting tasks. And other parents should see them as equals. Individuals that care for the parish in the way they care for the family. So you mothers, fathers, godparents, legal guardians, keep it up. Because you are the star attraction for the generation whose time has not yet come. And they are all looking up to you first and foremost. Please, do not forget that. Do not underestimate that. Last month, I invited the mothers up to the sanctuary for the Eucharistic prayer. In the spirit of fairness, I will be inviting fathers, unexpecting fathers, up likewise for the same purpose, that you may offer up your sacrifice of praise right here at my side.